So this was a question around, those who were very satisfied, with their OMS vendor, rated flexibility as one of the highest attributes on why they were satisfied. And so the question is what do we define flexibility from OMS vendors? Is that, what kind of speed are we talking about? Is this cost? Is it deployment models? And I would say, to me, flexibility is tied heavily with a result of the feature improvements that some of these vendors have given them, so more controls on orchestration and sourcing. So I think that's probably what's showing up as flexibility in this answer. Now, as I said earlier, this survey was mostly taken by IT folks, and I think that there is a lot of flexibility in the latest versions of these OMS platforms, but I think that flexibility on the business side also has some cons. And many people that we talk to are concerned with all the administration of these various dials that can now be set by the business to understand how they impact each other. But I think flexibility from an IT lens is much more about, open microservices based architecture that lets retailers optimize where it's needed. So for example, that could be an existing, they may be using the OMS provider's sourcing engine, but they're adding additional elements into that sourcing decision from an external microservice to enhance the outcome. Now, we recently worked with a retailer who wanted to take inventory age as an example into consideration in their sourcing engine and decided that the core OMS couldn't do that effectively. And so they augmented that solution with that one particular element. So I think that's a major improvement that some of the existing vendors have made on the flexibility side. But I think, like I said, the con of that is that they've also created a lot of administration for some of these business teams to manage all of these various dials that they can turn. Dave, what's your perspective on this?
So I would say I have similar feedback. For me, as I've matured in the omnichannel roadmap, I guess I'll call it, my definition has changed over time. And when my customer experience was much less mature and my OMS budgets were much less than they are, and I ran a much smaller shop, to me, flexibility is what can I configure to activate new features. As we kind of move through the maturity scale, it gets much more complex with delivery and fulfillment optimization. I'm really to me, flexibility is more plugging in best of breed solutions, plugging in a delivery orchestration engine, plugging in an inventory engine, So really for me, flexibility really comes to microservices. How can I implement microservices? And I'll speak from the Sterling standpoint. Sterling isn't really just an application to me. It's more of a framework, and it's a set of queues and a set of triggered events, and I'm able to kind of plug my third party best of breed solutions very easily into that framework. It's when an event happens, I don't have to have Sterling activate that event. I could have a third party system do it. So I would say for myself, really, flexibility really used to be in, can I configure it? And I used to, when I was doing an RFP for an OMS, I was really looking at those features kind of from a configuration standpoint. Right. Kind of fast forward to where I am now, it's really more about flexibility of microservices and plugging in third-party tools into it. And then the other things is really, kind of as you work through the maturity scale is once you're able to do all those things, the other things now reporting analytics. So how do you get data out of it? Easy ways to get data out of it. And then of course, scalability and I'll give an example of scalability is like, in IBM, we have an inventory service, and we use that to power our website. Well, if systems are down or down for maintenance, I don't want to turn my website off. So I'm able to use my own third-party inventory tool. I'm able to plug into it as a backup. So those things have become just much more important as I kind of move through that maturity scale. Is more that ability to plug stuff in.